What is going on, YouTube? This is one of my very first videos, so bear with me. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to take apart an Xbox One S controller and replace the bumpers. This was given to me by my my stepbrother, or not my stepbrother, my brother-in-law, and he basically said if I could fix the bumpers, I could keep it. Well, I think that the Xbox One S controllers are sexy. They are beautiful. They are white, matte finish, beautiful. So, what we're going to do is we're going to clean this up, we're going to fix up the bumpers, I'll show you how to do all that, and then I'm going to give a quick and honest review on Bionik Quickshot trigger stops. So if we open up our package from Amazon here, this is the package that contains 2 bumpers and all the tools you'll need to be able to take apart and put back together your controller. And then the honest review of Bionik Quickshot trigger stops with rubber grips. I will be reviewing these at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so in this package that I bought off of Amazon, it's just a quick little, simple package Ziploc. And inside, you get 2 replacement bumpers. You have a Torx 8 security screwdriver. The security is very different from the actual Torx 8 screwdriver. You actually have to get that little dot, if it'll focus. Let me get my face out of this one. There's a little dot right in the center. As you can see, maybe on the Torx 6, which also comes for it, it does not have the security dot on it. Do not try using a Torx 8 screwdriver on these controllers because it will strip them. Alright, without further ado, let's get into this. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop the battery pack open. You're going to want to remove the label that goes here. That is removing the warranty, so if you do decide to do this, that is on you. I have no responsibility in what happens to your controller. I am just showing you how I am going to be doing my controller, so if it does not work out for you, I apologize. I'll try to be as detailed as possible, but you will be removing the warranty. So either keep it handy or don't remove it if you really need it that bad. This is not my controller. I did not purchase this controller, so I removed the warranty, and if my brother ever needs it back, I do have it in my room in a little folder. So, without further ado, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your little plastic piece that you just got with your bumpers. This is a pry bar to be able to take off these back panels here. Best thing to do is to go right near the trigger and pop it off. Then you can go in between the little crevices and you can just pry it off just like that. It sounds like it breaks, but I promise you I've done this a ton of times. It does not break. So we're going to do that with the other parts real quick. Now I would like to point out while we're at this point in time, I will not be putting these back on. The Quickshot action trigger stops actually replace these pieces. So if you are planning on putting these on, if you're watching this video for that purpose, do not put those back on. It'll just cause you a big old headache. Okay? So we're going to set these babies off to the side. Now if you look, you should have 5 Torx 8 screws. You should have one in the center, right there. You should have one on either side, right underneath the triggers. One there, and one there. And then you should have one at the very bottom. One here, one here. Just like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Torx 8 screwdriver and just take those babies out. I am recording from my phone, so you guys probably are not getting the best audio quality. This is my very first video that I'm actually putting a lot of effort in and going to edit and do all that kind of stuff and post on YouTube. I will not be providing gameplay. I do not have the capabilities of doing so yet. I am slowly working up towards that. But I thought with an unboxing, a tutorial, and a review, this should be a pretty good first video. So we got 3 of them out so far. Try not to lose these. They are very inexpensive online, but I'm a little bit of a nostalgic freak and I like to keep the silver screws. Any ones that you buy online, they're going to be black. and it just kind of loses the overall, you know, nostalgic. This is all the original pieces, you know. Alright, we're down to our last one. This is so much easier with a Torx 8 security screwdriver. I literally have been trying like 3 different types of Torx 8 screwdrivers. Not one of them was working, so I looked up a tutorial on what was I doing wrong, because I know how to replace the bumpers, it's just I didn't know what I was doing wrong. Okay, let me stop right there. I'm rambling. So, next thing you're going to do is you're going to slowly take off the faceplate. If you ever want to replace this faceplate, there are really cool ones for $16.99 on Amazon. You can also get a bunch on different websites. They do come for the Xbox One S. I am planning on getting one eventually, but I do really, really like the look of the white mat for the Xbox One S controller, so I will be keeping this for quite a while. But at this moment in time, once you get to this point, this is where you would replace your faceplate if you ever wanted to replace your faceplate. Another thing is I will be doing another video on how to replace thumbsticks, and I will be replacing them with the thumbsticks for the Elite Series 2 controller. So keep your eye out on that video. But it is very simple to take those out, and it's very simple to also replace the D-pad. Buttons are a little bit more tedious, but it can be done. But what you all came here for. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take these 2 little latches where it almost looks like there's a button right here. You want to take these off, and it will be removing this piece. This little Bluetooth connection button comes out very easily, so be very careful and do not lose it, because if you ever have to unplug your controller or get a new controller or anything like that, it's gonna suck if you don't have that connector. So basically we're gonna use our little plastic pry bar. We're just gonna very carefully right in and pop these babies off. Just like that. And that removes this top piece. And here is your bumper. Okay? Now if you'll look, the problem with my bumper is that up here it's getting very worn, and I don't know if it's the same on these. Hold on. These are slightly extended. I originally thought that these had a lot more wear and tear on them than they actually do, but they don't. We just need to put new bumpers in them and call it a day. Does not look like I got the right ones. In. Ooh, these are like hairs. I don't know if I got the right ones. Now I'm scared. Well, that actually feels kind of good. So let's just put this baby back on. Okay. So basically what I did is I just kind of slid them in there until they were flush with the triggers, as best as I could get them. They're not super flush, but they are very sensitive. These are going to be great because they don't have the extra leeway to them. These ones, you almost quite literally had to push down really hard on them, and at one point they were so bad that I had to push so hard that my fingers hurt. So now we're going to take this piece and just place it back on. You're going to want to line up 2 little holes right underneath my finger, the 2 little pegs underneath my finger, those 2 right there. You're going to line those up with the top of that. And then you're also going to line up these little holes with the pegs that you took them off earlier. In fact, it might just be easier to take out the bumper and just put this baby on top. I do not see how this is fit. Alright guys, so it turns out that I actually had to get a different set of bumpers. These are for the Xbox One controller. I needed to get the actual Xbox One S controller, but it's very, very simple. All you gotta do is take the one that you have out and connect the top piece that we took out at the very beginning to the bumpers, and then just slide it back in place, and it should just pop right in, and you should have 2 working bumpers. Now to put it back, all you gotta do is slide the faceplate right back on top, just like that. Flip it over, and just place the screws back in. And it should be very nice and snug, but you don't want to make it so tight that you snap the plastic. Oh, almost lost the screw. That would have been bad. But I was holding it that way. Oh, that's not good. I lost it. It's inside the controller. Not in a good way. It is attempting to make love. This could get ugly. I did just take off the back panel. Don't freak out, guys. Just trying to get that screw out of here. Oh, there it is. Weird. I didn't know these were magnetic. Just in case you were wondering, a little piece right back here underneath the trigger, and it's magnetic. Oh. Just in case you guys wanted to know, if you do take the back plate off and you wanted to replace the buttons, keep the front face plate on, and you basically just detach this motherboard. Oh, why is it sticky? So when you're putting it back, I would start with the center one. It does have a little bit more hold to it when you actually put it in. Now the T6 screwdriver, you'd actually use if you ever wanted to change out the buttons or anything like that, but this should feel pretty small. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to put the rest of the screws in, and then we'll get on to the review of the Bionik Quickshot trigger stops. Alright, so now that we have all the screws in, we have our back panels off. It doesn't matter if you put this on or not. I'm going to put it on just because it looks nicer as we do this. Actually, I'm going to put my batteries in it while we do this. I use Duracell rechargeables. They're really good. They are really good. Just saying. They do give you the nice weight that you'd get from AA batteries, though. So if you don't like that, sorry. These should work, but I'm not entirely sure. Have to try it out. Alright, so if you missed the part with the face or with the back plates, basically these plates just sit on the back. Kind of like that. And all you gotta do is use your pry tool to get it right off. They pop right off. They sound like they're breaking, but I promise you they're not. They're really durable. They're really nice. They can actually withstand you throwing them at the wall. And now for the review. Bionik Quickshot trigger stops. I've seen a lot of stuff about this, but yeah, if you look, I really like this packaging. So basically what these do is they replace the back panels, take those back panels off, and you put these ones on. And what they do is they flush up with your controller, and they add a little mechanism right underneath the trigger, and you have two settings. You can either have the full extension of the trigger for racing, or you can go full-on Call of Duty God style and switch it to hair triggers, which it will allow you to actually make less of a pull and faster shooting. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut into this box and see what we got here. So we got some instructions. Looks like. Yep, says use the pry tool, so I'm assuming this one comes with a pry tool. Says to use the pry tool, take off the back panels. Hold on, it's very folded. Take off the back panels just like that. You go in and out. You take them off and you put these babies on and they just snap right on. And it says to go in and out. Alright, now these out. So it does come with its own pry bar, but these are supposed to be rubber grips as well as the trigger stops. So I'm actually quite excited. And this one actually seems stronger than the one I got with the bumpers, so that's a good pry bar to keep. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, these are nice. They look significantly smaller, but my goodness, do they feel good. They are very grippy. They're like a rubber sandpaper. If you look, they're diamond rubber. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So, I'm gonna put one on real quick just to get one on. Wow, that is incredible. Oh my gosh. And this trigger thing doesn't really get in the way. If you have really small hands, I can see how this little thing jutting out could hurt you, but I mean, if you sanded it down and used something else to just get in there and tweak it out, you could easily do that. You could sand this little guy down. See how far he sticks out? Sand that down and then just use, honestly, your little pry bar just to flick it back down. But my goodness, is that comfy. Okay, so before I put this next one on, I'm going to show you guys how the trigger stop works. So this is completely flush with an actual controller trigger. This will not touch the controller trigger in the setting if you do not have the hair triggers on. So basically, if I flip this switch, all it does is raise that up. Can you see that? It raises it up and it blocks the trigger kind of, but what it actually does is it connects the trigger to the button sooner. So basically it's increasing the amount of time it takes from the trigger to get to the button to press the button fully. And so we're just going to slap this on. We're going to go this way first because we have troubles that way. Quite literally just squeeze it on. Look at that. They stay really flush with your controller. And they provide one of the most excellent grips I have felt in a very long time. Alright, so this one we're going to switch to hair trigger. Whoa. That is a noticeable difference. Okay, watch. That's without a trigger stop. This is with. That's almost half. That is almost half. Oh, I could see myself having a great time with these babies. That is, these are awesome. I will make another video after I test these out and it'll be basically the ending of this video. I'll get back on, film one last little piece of me saying how good these are, if they're good at all, or if they are a bust. But they feel great. If nothing else, you get them for the grips. Wow. Alright. Alright guys, so I just got off of Xbox using my new Bionik Grips. They are amazing. And I mean amazing. I have a really steady hold on the controller, more so than I usually do. My hands don't sweat as much, believe it or not, but the only thing I would ever change about it is that those things do kind of poke you a little bit if you got hands like mine. They're big and bulky. But other than that, they are very, very helpful for quick scoping and sniping of any sort. Or if you just want to run around with like an FAL in Modern Warfare, it is a great purchase to get for only $10, $15. They are absolutely amazing. And I actually think the ones I got were on Amazon for about $20 to $25. But I truly, truly love these grips. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit me up for a like. I'm new here. Want to see what it's like to get liked. Thank you. Bye-bye.